Alright, hello YouTube and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. In the last episode, we tried to launch our relay sat and realised a little bit too late that I hadn't activated the antennas on time, and the little antenna on the side of the craft ran out of range. So we couldn't activate the other antennas and therefore couldn't control the satellite. I have since in the meantime relaunched it and activated them this time. It does deploy a bit of power. We've lost connection again. Why have we lost connection again? Is it just where we're over? Is there a combat relay? We just apparently have just lost connection and I'm not sure why. We definitely have the range to talk to the ground center. We're not out of range. I know we're not. Range of the pole. What's our periaps? Low. No connection? Why is it not on? Because our core is not running? Navigation is off. I do not know what's going on here. I don't know why we can't talk to that. Try descending. See if we can work out why. I'm really confused by this. I'm not seeing any reason we shouldn't have a signal. You might have to return to launch. I'm going to recover this to the vehicle assembly and have a quick check over it and see if I can work out anything that could potentially be wrong with it. Because at the moment I'm not getting it. The satellites are active. We have range. Like, am I missing something? Is it our command core that it doesn't like? Are we going to have to redesign it a little bit? We're using a relay antenna, right? 20 million. Cone angle? Angle Omni. Million meters. Well, the rate... Okay, so this has an actual angle on it. I didn't know that. That's new. But that's fine. Like, you know, we can work around that. Okay, since we can have a small amount. But why it's not transmitting, I don't know, because those Omni ones were active and it wasn't getting a signal, and we were not 25 million up. We were 1. We were 1 million up. What was happening there? I don't think we've got any, like... I can't even think what you call the mods. Flipping... I don't think we've got anything like ScanSat or anything that affects them. Or Comnet. But even if we did have Comnet, it should be working. We're still in range. An angle 45, 10. They're not direct transmission antenna anyway. I do not know what's going on there. I don't know whether it's because the core's stored away and that counts it being stashed and it's therefore not working, but I don't think that's it. I'm so confused. Tell you what. We'll do a rebuild. We'll ditch the satellite and we'll rebuild it and put it back inside the same craft. We'll go simple. Do a hex. Some solar panels on it. Actually, tell you what, we'll go for the 3x2s. Different profile, be a little bit more unusual. Go for the hex. Go for the relay antenna on top. And we'll go for... We'll double check these don't overlap, but we'll go for those on the sides. Yeah, looks like there's going to be space down the middle for those to move past. Yeah, it's close, but it fits. And we'll put a very small setup for it to allow it to maneuver a tiny bit on it. And where is it? The ant. I guess 107. It's only a tiny bit, but it'll give us a little bit of maneuvering room. Oh. We could take that off, because we don't need that. No, we took the engine off. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Let's have a little look. That'll be 5,500. That should still be fine. Could actually narrow this down a bit. So our new one is lower profile. Okay, there we go. And we shall try it. I'll pause recording quickly. I just got to sort something. Alright, so we are back. I figured I'd just get the very earliest bit of the launch. We have, again, as I said, slightly redesigned the rocket. With the narrower up stage, it should be a bit more aerodynamic as well. The smaller satellite that will hopefully work this time. I do not know why that other one was working. I have a feeling it is something to do with those that universal storage core. But it was really confusing me that they weren't working, because I've never had problems like that with the antennas before. So we'll see what we can do with this. Okay, we're basically through the atmosphere. I'll let it stage the fairing itself, and then I will activate the antennas. We'll keep an eye on the connection. We'll also keep an eye on the electric charge. Oh, actually, which is very low. I forgot we have not we didn't put batteries on this thing. It'll be fine once the solar panels are out, because by the time it gets to where it needs to be, it's going to have power anyway. Oh, there's a point. Do we have any torque? I may have to do some more tweaking to this. It's proving surprisingly difficult for what's supposed to be a very simple little mission. Which does happen occasionally, but it's rare that it's this much of a problem. Okay, Vective's actually deploying those. Deploy antennas. Oh yeah, we're using all the battery. Because the antennas use a bit of power. As the power will cut for a moment, we'll lose connection, but it should come back on once we get back into sunlight. No connection still. Why? Is it because these deactivate? No, they shouldn't be. Well, they should be coming back on at any rate. Is it because we lose connection temporarily and they shut down? What is going on? Hang on. Oh, that's the wrong thing. What's Kerbal's cheat window called? I was trying to open Kerbal's cheat window. I can't remember what the. I've got to be honest. I can't remember what the button is for it. Is it Alt F10? No, I thought it was Control F10, but it's not. See if I can enable connections and then reactivate them and see if that's what was the problem. I'm really not sure why this is happening. This shouldn't be an issue, but that little low end radar antenna is working just fine. It's not the transmitter station. We've got a level 2. That should easily be able to talk to them. We shouldn't have there. We shouldn't be having any trouble with that at all. Right, we're going to temporarily take this off, and we're going to fit some batteries onto it for one thing at least. We'll try that. See if it keeps a full battery the whole time, if that helps. And we might even fit a small fuel tank on there so that upstage can actually take it a bit further if it needs to. It's not going to affect the lower lower stages much. 980. Yeah, I think we've got a bit more overall there still. We might have to adjust this a little bit. Okay. So we now have more power. Should have 400. I might even fit more than that, because I am again worried about this. It's being weird. Yeah, doesn't need much delta V for that. Clip these in a little bit for the visuals. Okay. Let's try it. Again, I am surprised that this mission is the one that's proving so much of an issue. We had no problem at all, even with the janky landings. Well, we had a few small problems, but we brought it back. And yet the tiny little relay satellite is the one causing a problem. Actually, we had trouble with the satellites earlier, didn't we? We had trouble with the Stay Putnik being uncontrollable. I wonder if that's the same issue. I wonder if we do have something like ScanSat or something set up. But then again, we have transmitters. We shouldn't be having the signal problems. And we are getting signals. We're getting connections until we take off. It's during that dark period where we lose power that it seems to go wrong. Right, 3, 2, 1, lift off. Should work this time, hopefully. I am wondering if it's something to do with the fact that the power shuts off and then it doesn't come back on again even when the power comes back up, which is weird, but could be an issue. But I am very generally confused by this one because I've not seen something like this before. Yeah, there's no sign of anything like ScanSat. We've got a satellite icon. That doesn't do anything. Up to a bar controller. What is the satellite one? Not even sure. It doesn't even come up. Planet Shine, click through mouse walker. No, nothing there. That should be an issue. Even if we're just if we're only able to relay from a space center, which might be a thing, we should still have had a signal from where we were, right? I think. Sorry, I'm not saying as much of this episode. I know it's a bit repetitive, but I am really baffled by this. I've not come across this particular form of this problem before. Now, Golden Pharaoh doesn't look quite as neat as it used to. It does look more practical, but... Anyway, we'll do the same thing as we did before. We'll wait for the thing to deploy, then we'll deploy the antenna. Or maybe just deploy one for now. Because we're still... We can deploy the rest once we get to higher altitude and the solar panels can kick in, but maybe just deploy one so it's not draining as much power as well. Even if that should give us a shorter signal. I thought we had an option to see our signal was the other thing as well. I thought we could click a little button and it would... Whether that's remote tech maybe? Maybe that was from a mod that was showing us that. What have we got here? Oh, maybe that's signals. Oh, I see. Okay, that is something to do with relaying. Okay, so I think that red dot is where we're transmitting from. And it looks like we're still getting a good signal. I guess this is the stuff for the signal, so it looks like we're okay. Is it just by the time we end up at the top, we're just way out of transmission range? But then what are we supposed to do? Well, from, I guess, launch a really low altitude one first and then go higher? When we've got one in the right place to launch the next one off the back of it, I guess. But, the settings thing, maybe. I had a feeling there was something to do with, like, transmitters from other space centers. I don't even know if we can change that at this point. We do want that active, actually. Want the, thing. Oh, what do you call it? Extended tweakables. The rest of that looks alright. Very confusing. Not 100% of what's going on there, I'm going to be honest. Right. Deploy one antenna. Just activate one. Okay, so I think we are on the other side of the planet. Is that all it is? Is it just that by the time we get to the other side of the planet, we just lost signal because we're not... Because we've only got one transmitter station? I thought there was more than one, but I could be wrong. It is that. Okay. That's not too bad. Is it going to activate anyway? MakeJeb can sometimes activate even when you've lost signal? No, it can't. Okay. So I guess what we have to do is launch to a lower altitude, confirm it will definitely deploy, and then launch from there. I guess maybe we might need a bit more of a full network with multiple connection points. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it could be. It's not ideal. Right, we'll launch to a little above where we'd probably put our space stations, which would probably be 100. It's nice and simple. So we'll launch to 120, so we definitely won't be in the way. Launch. We're not going to worry about the normal countdown. Launched this thing about 4 or 5 times already. Yes, let's launch to 120 and see how this goes. Lifting off. What's that over there? Is that a bit of debris? 50 kilometers away? It's probably not that. No. Not sure what that is. It's too... This is a bit of something that's fallen off one of our other crafts, maybe? I don't think we've had any landings near here, but I could be wrong. Looks too far. Looks too close to be a bit of debris, and I don't know. It's been a weird. This has been a weird episode, just in general. And again, I never thought we'd have this many problems just from a little relay satellite. Oh, I don't even know if we're going to be able to do our... We're going to have to recover again because we need science equipment on it. I forgot we needed to recover a little bit of data as well. Yeah. Infinite Problems, the episode. Right. Thermometer. Can go... yeah, that'll do it. Don't really have any other good... A bit of barometer, but it's not going to matter. Even if we... I should mention for this particular one, even if we've already got data from an area, it actually doesn't matter if we gather it again. We will still... Even if there's no actual science data gained, quote-unquote, we will still complete the contract for transmitting it, even if it's transmitting nothing. So we don't have to worry that we've probably already got all the science data from Kerbal, or at least a good chunk of it. Lifting off. I keep getting set to daylight as well. Bit spicy. Tell you what, I might actually skip ahead a little bit. We'll get this thing to no, that'd be fine. We'll just launch. Going alright. Again, sorry if I'm running out of things to say a little bit this episode. It's been a weird day in general. Again, I've got a my second game that I actually made is releasing today, or has released today even. It's out now. Obviously it will be out a long time before you guys see this episode. I think I've got stuff scheduled almost up to the end of March at this point. And let's think, by the time this Kerbal episode comes out, it's probably going to be, what, April? I think? Probably going to be the month after? Yeah. I think that's right, anyway. Yes, we shall... Still good. We're still connected. I'm still a little bit concerned that we're going to be out of range even at 120. It's proving... Is it make-give launch angle? Is it just a case where I'm going to have to do a launch or do a really vertical one? It's not really how you're supposed to launch, but it does work. We are going to be a long way off it, but I think we'll be alright. Yeah, I suppose we'll drift for a little bit, so the Earth will catch up. Earth Kerbin will catch up with us. But yeah, I've never had that issue before. That is so weird. What we could also potentially do is launch 3 of these, or maybe more, so that we have a bit of proper GPS like triangulation, a bit of constant coverage. Once we can launch higher altitude ones as well, that will make it easier because the angles get better. They get sort of I don't know how to describe it. More forgiving, I suppose. You get a sort of wider range of it will work up to this point. Oh. No. Disengage. Stop time warp. Activate the antenna. Now go. Do not lose us connection again before we've even got there. Okay, we've still got connection. This one's going to work. Or at least I hope this one's going to work. Oh, we've lost power. Oh no, we've lost connection at the last second. Oh my god. Oh, this mission. Oh, okay. Okay, we are going to cut here. We're going to cut here. We're going to launch to 80 kilometers. This is a pain in the backside. I'm amazed how bad this one's being. Right, give me a minute. Alright, we're back again for what's probably going to be the ending of this very scuffed episode. I think this is going to work this time. I really am very annoyed at how much of a pain this has been, but hey, we're doing what we can. Deploy antenna. No, not that. Activate. As long as we can just maintain connection, we're long enough to put it into orbit, then we're fine. I don't mind at all if it's patchy later, but we just need to actually get to orbit. We'd have loads of fuel left because we're burning nowhere near as much as we were intending to need. I could have made this rocket smaller and cheaper even, but hey. Actually, I don't know if I could have very easily. We are at probably the small end of the size limit. You can build very, very light and small rockets in Kerbal. They do tend to start to behave a tiny bit weirdly sometimes. And stuff like symmetry starts to have more of an effect, but still okay for battery. So we'll activate all three. Just to balance out the center of weight, center of mass even. Okay, I think we're good. Ah, thank God we're orbited now. Good. Yeah, so we'd lose connection pretty quickly, honestly. Yeah. Okay, it does come back. Yeah, so what we might have to do is basically, like I said, launch another one of these when I forgot to get the science and finish the mission. We'll do that in a sec. Is to basically launch a higher one when that one is in place underneath to transmit for it. Like basically as soon as that lower one comes into signal range, then launch maybe the 1 million one and use that to piggyback it. It is a relay satellite after all. And again, the angle will get way better. Once we've launched one, the angle we can actually transmit from will be a lot better, and then we can launch a second high altitude one, and then a third, and we should be fine, in theory. It's just because this has been such a pain. Setting up. It is also going to cost us a bit more than they thought, because apparently we're going to need more than one. Yay! I think it is maybe an options thing where you can tell the game put a transmitter at every Kerbal ground station. And I don't think that's on. So that is making things a little bit more difficult for us. I guess we'll keep the rest of the satellite attached for now. We could always... Actually, yeah. We don't potentially have to launch that many more of these. We could always shunt this one to a higher altitude later because it's got loads of fuel. So we'll be able to do that at least. Let's quickly grab that science. Up the temperature. This might be a bit of a short episode, but again, it's been a bit scuffed anyway in general, so that's fine. Activate. We need to transmit data. Can that access? We do actually have that now. Review data. Transmit. Again, no actual science, but it finishes the contract, and we get paid a measly 20,000 and 3 science. A little bit of reputation, which I guess is useful. I guess being the operative word, I'm genuinely not sure. But yes, that'll about wrap it up for that episode. Wow, that was, like I say, scuffed. Did not expect that many problems, and there was some stuff going on as well over in the real world, so I had to pause a few times. It's a bit of a weird one. But yes, go check out if you'd like to be good for the channel. Go check out the link in the description. I've got a link to the game I recently finished. It's actually released today on day of recording. So go take a look. You might like it. And there's also my previous game that's also out. Next time we'll... Oh, God knows. We're still trying to work towards rendezvous autopilot, right? We'll take another mission and we'll see what we could potentially do for that. And I'll see you guys all next time.